going to be looking at spine mobility, and we're going to do some work on the hamstrings. So this will help with any back bends or combres in arrière, and then our hamstrings, this will help with leg extensions to the front, your front splits, your grand jetés, things like this. We'll do a few other bits as well, but those are the two main things we'll focus on today. So all you'll need is a yoga or Pilates mat, or if you don't have that, you can just put a towel on the floor. This class is most beneficial if you've done a little warm-up before, but if you haven't, don't worry, we're going to do a quick warm-up for the body. Great, so let's get started. We're going to begin with our feet in parallel, standing up. Feet hip width apart. And we're just going to take a moment to find our posture, find our alignment. So you want to have all 10 toes pressing into the floor, weight more on the balls of the feet than the heels. Lifting the hips at the front, engaging the abs, ribcage closed, shoulders open, neck nice and long. We're just going to start by circling the shoulders, and we're going to add it with a bend. So as we bend, we bring the shoulders up and around. So we're going to do 4 of these, and then we're going to bend and swing one arm to the back, and bend, same with the other. Then we'll repeat this 4 times, coming inwards and circling the arms from the back to the front. Okay, ready, off we go. 1 and 2, lifting those shoulders up, and then a big circle, 3 and 4. Bend, big circle with the right arm. Bend, big circle with the left arm. We come inwards, so the shoulders come up and forwards. 2 and 3 and 4. From the back to the front with the right arm. From the back to the front with the left arm. Good, we're now going to bend the knees. I'm going to bring the arms out to demi-seconds. And we're just going to swing the arms and twist the body from right to left. We're going to do this 8 times, keeping the knees bent. Off we go. 1, 2, nice and gentle, don't force this. 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8. Good. Let's open the legs out a bit further, and we're going to add a side lunge and a twist. So stretch your arms out to the side. We're going to bend your right knee as you bring your left arm down to the floor, or reaching down to the floor. You don't have to go that way.
Recharge battery.
Oops, I've been told. And open this arm. So we have a nice twist going through the shoulders here. We're going to start just going to the knee height, and then as we go on, you can keep going lower if you think you can do this comfortably. So we'll do 4 of these. Off we go. 1, this is knee height. 2, maybe go a bit lower. 3 and 4. Great, good job. Let's bring our feet together in parallel. We're going to lift the chin up, tuck the chin into your chest, bend your knees, and roll all the way down to your mat. So start off just by lying on your back, and you're going to pull both your knees in and hug them into your chest. Sorry, bear with me 1 second, just so my speakers don't tell me off again. So keep hugging those knees into your chest. It should feel quite nice. You should feel your spine pressing into the floor, especially if you've just woken up. This should be a nice release for the spine. Now let go of one leg and hug just one knee into your chest, and you can go a bit further now because you've only got one knee. That should feel quite nice in the hip. And then you're going to bring this leg, so for me this is my left leg, and I'm going to bring it to my right side. So I'm twisting the body and letting the knee drop down to the floor. And then I'm going to reach my left arm in the opposite direction. So I've got this gentle twist going through the spine. Again, this should feel really nice. Don't force it. Just holding here. And now line onto your front. Open out the knee to the side. So you'll find yourself in a retire position. I'll scooch over so you can see. We're in a retire position. You're going to bring your arms either side, shoulders down, and we're going to push up into a cobra. Now if you're quite flexible, you might want to push up into your hands and lift your nose all the way to the ceiling. But again, don't force this. Go wherever you're comfortable. Relax back down. We're going to combine with the breath. So breathe in, breathe out, push up to wherever you're comfortable. Don't force it. And lower back down. Good. Bring the knee in, and we're going to roll back onto the back. We'll do this with the other leg. So I use my left leg first, I'm going to use my right leg. Pull it in, relax the hip, hold here, and now bring this knee across the body. Let the knee drop down to the floor and reach in the opposite direction, opening out the shoulder. Good. Now rolling onto your front, letting the knee open into a retire position. So this is a good hip opener. And we're going to push up into our cobra stretch. So breathing in, breathing out, push up to wherever is comfortable. And lower back down. One more of these. Breathing in, breathing out, pushing up. You might find it's tighter on one side than the other. Lower back down, bring your knees together. Good. You're going to go up onto your hands and knees. Your knees are hip width apart and your wrists should be directly underneath your shoulders. We're going to keep the neck nice and long. We're going to do some cat-cow stretches to wake up the spine. So this is for spine mobility, and we'll combine it with the breath. So we're going to breathe in, drop the forehead down, curve the back up, should feel really nice, and breathe out, drop the hips down, lift the chin to the ceiling. And again, breathe in, and breathe out. One more, breathing in, and breathe out. Good, now you can either continue doing these cat-cows, or we can now try a ripple going through the spine. So you're going to use the elbows to help you here by bending them. So you're going to drop the forehead down, scoop up through the back and push up. Then we curve the spine, drop the forehead down, and we're going to go again. Down and up. Curve the spine. One more of these, down and up, and back to neutral. Now we're going to reverse this movement. So lift the chin, bend the elbows, we lower the body down. We're going to curve the spine, lift the chin, bend the elbows and drop. So if this is too much, you can just keep doing the cat-cow. And drop. Good. Back to neutral. Now I'm going to take my left hand and I'm going to thread it underneath, dropping my shoulder to the floor. I'm going to give 3 options for this. So the first option is the one I just showed, bringing the left arm underneath. Second option is combining it with the leg stretched out to the side. So you're going to get a gentle hamstring stretch here. It's a slightly deeper stretch, this one. And then if you don't want to do either of those, you can do a figure of 8 with the cat-cow. So that's going to, you're going to start by bringing your right shoulder to your left hip, and curving. Left shoulder to left hip, curve. Right shoulder to right hip, arch. You can do 2 of those. And then reach out your left arm, and then you can go back around the other way. Reach out your right arm, yeah? So I'm going to demonstrate the arm thread, and I'm going to do it with the leg in case anyone wants to add the leg. So leg goes out to the side, same arm as leg, threads underneath, shoulder drops down to the floor. We hold here for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, come back up. And then let's open up the chest and drop. We're going to do the same on the other side. So now it's my right hand and my right leg. Threading the arm through, letting the shoulder drop down to the floor and holding. For 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring the knees back, hip width apart. Reach that arm up to the ceiling and lower. Great. Sit back on your heels, reach your fingers forwards and just relax for a moment in your child's pose. Stretching out onto your front. We're going to do some seal stretches, so this is really for back mobility. Hands are by your side and you can choose what height you do, that's completely up to you. So you can either have sort of your forearms pressing on the floor here, find a nice long neck, breathe in, breathe out as you push off, and you're just going to peel the rib cage off the floor. You can go this height if you like, or if you're a little bit more flexible, you can bring your hands a bit further back, breathe in, breathe out, and push all the way up, lifting the chin. Now you can have the legs slightly open here because it will be easier on the spine. I wouldn't recommend first thing in the morning doing a stretch with the legs together unless you're incredibly flexible and it's really easy for you. So go gently on the back, let the legs open a bit. We're going to do 3 of these stretches. Okay, so let's combine with the breath. Nice long neck, breathing in, breathing out, pushing up to the height of your choice, wherever that might be. And relax back down. And again, breathing in, breathing out, pushing up. Keep breathing as you're stretching, don't cut the breath. And relax back down, we've got one more. Breathing in, breathing out, pushing up. No tension in the neck, no tension in the shoulders, and back down. Good. Push back into child's pose. And if you like, you can also do a child's pose where you just drop the forehead, but you keep the hips lifted. So whichever one you prefer, whichever feels nicer on the back, just hold for a second. Great, back onto your front. We're just going to do one last stretch on our front, and this is actually for our quads. So find your foot, one hand underneath your forehead, and then just pull your heel towards you. If this isn't enough of a stretch, you can lift the thigh off the floor, but go gently on the knee. You don't want to be forcing this. Release, and let's swap over to the other leg. And release. Good. We're going to go onto our onto our back now. And just hug your knees. Rock the spine gently. So bring the knees in and drop them down. Good. We're going to do a glute stretch. So you're going to extend one leg, bring the other leg over the top with a bent knee. And then one hand, you'll have created a gap in between the legs. One hand goes through the middle of the gap, the other hand goes around the outside. Then these fingers clasp behind your leg that's extended, and I will go below the knee. And then you're going to bend that knee and pull this leg position towards you. If you like, for a deeper stretch, your elbow can press into this knee that's pointing out to the side so that you push your turn out a bit more. Again, don't force this. It should feel really nice, especially if you've been doing any work that's been using the glutes. So pretty much anything in ballet will have used the glutes. This should feel really, really good. Just holding here. And now we're going to add just a gentle hamstring stretch. Extend that leg up. You don't have to point the foot, so you can keep it relaxed. Good. Now let's swap the legs. So one leg is extended, the other leg is bent, the knee opens, it goes on top. One hand goes through the middle, the other hand goes around the outside. We bend this knee and we pull gently. You might feel the glutes releasing a bit, and if you do, you can pull the leg slightly closer to you. Now let's add just a very gentle hamstring stretch, extend that leg. Don't worry if you can't extend it all the way, or if your legs are a little bit further away from you, that's fine. Don't force any of this. Good, and relax. Keeping one leg up, we're now just going to do a one leg hamstring stretch. So reach that leg all the way up to the ceiling. Again, if the leg is lower, that's fine. Just hold on to it as much as you can. Lift the head off the floor. Keep the upper body flat, the neck relaxed. And we are trying to have a completely stretched knee. But again, if you have to choose between holding onto your leg and stretching the knee, I would say hold on to the leg first so you're nice and secure, and then you can, as an active stretch, you can just be trying to gently stretch that knee more and more. If you're more mobile, you could go for one hand on the lower leg and one hand on the thigh. And just hold here for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. This is optional now. This is kind of for people who are slightly more mobile in the hips. You can extend this leg out to the side, and you could hold onto the thigh here, or you could hold onto the heel or the calf. This is going to help with box splits. Bring it back in. Let's do the other leg. Extend the leg up, wherever you're comfortable. And you don't want to be twisting here, so the hips should be nice and flat and level. The back should be pressing into the floor. And ideally, if you can, and if you do ballet, try and rotate this leg slightly. Just hold for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now this optional hip opener to the side. Don't feel you have to do this one, and it can be at any height as well. Keep the hips flat and bring it back in. Great, so we're going to go up onto our knees, and we're going to push into a downward dog stretch. So this is like a pyramid stretch with the body. Hands are in the floor, toes tuck underneath, and you'll want to keep a lot of weight on your hands. So I'll just show what this isn't. This isn't that, yeah? Where we've got the weight on our feet and our fingers reaching forward. This downward dog or pyramid stretch, your weight is, you've got quite a lot of weight on your hands, so it should be in the middle. Starting with knees bent, you're going to slowly stretch the knees, drive the heels into the floor, lengthen the neck. And relax, bend the knees. We're going to go again with the breath, so breathing out. Lengthen through the spine, try and go a bit deeper. And bend the knees. And we're going to go again. Press the heels into the floor, and we're going to hold for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring the feet together, and we're going to pedal the heels. So one heel presses into the floor, the other lifts. And switch. And switch. And again. Good. Drop the knees down to the floor. We're going to do a lunge sequence. If you're familiar with my stretch classes, you'll know I love this lunge sequence. I try and do it as much as possible. So you're going to have one leg in front of you, knee over the heel, so we're not here, we're not here. Hips facing the front, pulling up nice and tall. And if you do want to hold on to something, feel free, whether that's a chair or a wall, just something to stabilize you, that's fine. We're going to start with just a really deep, we're going to do one where we push forwards in our lunge, and we're going to do one where we tuck underneath, and then we push forwards. And even though the second one we're not going as far forwards, it is actually deeper. So one we travel further, basically. So hips are facing front, and you're going to go all the way forwards, and you should just feel this in the quads and in the hip flexor. You can have your hands on your knees, or if you feel more stable with the hands on the floor, for that, keep the neck long, so you don't want to be tilting the chin here. Good. Come back up. I'm going to do the other one I mentioned. So, nice long line from the knee to the hip, tuck underneath, and then keeping this tucked position, push forwards. And you'll feel a much deeper stretch here. So this stretch is great for front splits, extensions to the front, your grand jeté, your grand battement, anything lifting and dropping the leg to the front. Actually, this is also good for an arabesque, because you need a nice stretched hip flexor in the arabesque too. Come back up. Now we're going to stretch the leg out front, and we're going to flex the foot. Then you might want to hold on to something for this, but if not, you can just reach the fingers down to the floor, or if you can go all the way, put the palms on the floor, and we're just going to drop the head down. Don't worry about how low you're going, it doesn't matter. You just want to stop when you feel a stretch. Hold this hamstring stretch for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Come back up, bring that leg in, and we'll swap over. So starting with our hip flexor stretch, going all the way forwards, hands on the floor. Keep the neck long. And now sitting up. Same thing, but tuck and push forwards. It's just holding here for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Extend this leg to the front, flex the foot, nice long spine, and reach the fingers forwards. Again, hold on to something if that's where you want to be. Holding for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Bring the legs together, and we're now going to sit. Let me just... So have the soles of the feet together, knees open out to the side. Hold on to onto your toes, and this alone might be enough of a challenge if you're struggling, if you feel like you're rocking backwards and you're struggling to stay upright. If so, if you find yourself in sort of this position, just try and hold it and curve the forehead down so you're at least getting a stretch through the upper back and neck. If you're able to sit up nice and tall in this position and let the knees drop open a bit more, you can bring the body forwards, you can fold forwards. So that's what we're going to do with the breath. Breathing in, breathing out. And we hold for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and sit back up. Now, if you were finding this position enough of a challenge, keep it. Don't do the next one, just repeat doing it. If you have the hip mobility, we're going to do a sandwich stretch. So you're going to bring one leg on top of the other, and this could even just be here. If you want to just cross the ankles, that's fine. You'll still get a nice stretch in the glutes. Otherwise, bring one foot right across. Now, you shouldn't feel any tension in the knees here. That's not the purpose of this stretch. This is for the hips and the glutes. So, if this is a comfortable position, hold it here. Otherwise, keep opening the legs until it feels easier. You're then going to reach the fingers forward, keep the back nice and long. Walk those fingers forwards as far as you can until you feel resistance, and then hold. So holding here for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, walk back up. And relax. If you're in your butterfly stretch still, give the knees a bit of a wiggle. Yeah, give them a little rest. If not, we're going to go with the other leg on top. So find your sandwich stretch. Nice tall back. Breathing in. Breathing out. Walking the fingers forwards. Keep the neck long. And hold for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Walk the fingers back again. We're going to do some work on box splits. I'm going to give a few options again, because if you felt like you were rolling backwards in this butterfly stretch, you may also struggle to stay seated in your box splits. So if that's the case, you can bring one leg in with the opposite hand, hold on to that foot, extend the other leg to the side, and you should feel it slightly easier to sit high up on the sit bones here. You shouldn't feel like you're rocking back as much. Then from here you can, you can choose. You can either reach the fingers forwards, that could be one stretch, or you can just go for a little side stretch. Your choice, but make sure you do both legs. If you're going for box splits, open the legs out until you feel resistance. It should be comfortable. We're not forcing our box splits here. Nice tall back, walk the fingers forward. You might hear the hips clonking, that's just because it's the morning. And until you feel like you're getting a good stretch, and then just hold. So we're going to hold here for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, walk back. If you were choosing the version where you've got one knee bent, one knee extended, bring them in now. Relax the hips, relax the knees, have a little rest, and then swap over. If you're doing box splits, push forwards a little bit more. We're now going for a slightly deeper stretch. And if you are a dancer, try and keep the legs rotated so we don't want the toes rocking forwards here. Keep that rotation, hips nice and lifted. You're going to hold the hips here as you walk forwards. And we hold for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring them back in. Good. Bring the legs together. Give them a wiggle, give them a shake. And we're just going to finish off with a demi-point stretch. So again, this is mainly for dancers, but it can be done by anybody. So you're going to go up onto your knees, tuck your toes underneath, and sit on your heels. You can add an arm stretch here. So this would involve bringing one arm up, bending the elbow, and let the fingers drop down to the spine. And then the other arm comes under. You're going to reach your fingers together. If they can't touch yet, you just want to try and gently reach them towards each other. Keep the neck long in this. So we're holding 4, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Come off the toes. And give them a wiggle. Go back on them and let's try with the other arm. So one goes up, one goes under. And we hold here. So stretching your demi-point will just make it easier when you go up onto a rise. And if you do have any sort of slightly blocked toe joints, this should help release it. Come off the toes and give them a wiggle. Good, well that's our stretch for today. I hope you're feeling refreshed. I definitely always feel more awake and ready to start the day after a stretch, so I hope you do too. Thanks for joining. If you like the music, I'll put a link to the playlist below. The music's just from Epidemic Sound. So yeah, lots of different artists. Yes, if you're my ballet coach member and if you're working on anything in particular, or if there's anything you'd like to stretch next week, drop me a message and I'll try and incorporate it into the class. Have a lovely rest of your day, and if I'm seeing you later for our advanced point class, then I'll see you at 4:30. Bye bye.